Hey there, English learners. Welcome back to Easy English Class. I'm Marco, and today we have something really special planned.
And I'm Erika. Hello to our amazing community of learners worldwide. Marco, I'm genuinely excited about today's topic because it addresses something almost every student asks about.
You're right. This is probably one of the most frequently requested lessons we've had. So, what are we diving into today?
Today, we're exploring practical techniques to sound more natural and fluent in English. The kind of strategies that help you communicate like someone who's been speaking the language their whole life.
I love this, and I want to emphasize something important right from the start. This isn't about achieving some impossible standard of perfection or completely erasing your identity.
Absolutely. It's about developing clarity, fluency, and that relaxed confidence that makes communication feel effortless and enjoyable.
We've compiled proven techniques that you can start implementing immediately. Each one will bring you closer to sounding more natural.
Before we jump into these game changing strategies, let's take a quick moment to connect with our Easy English class community.
If you're finding value in our content, please show your support by hitting that like button. Your engagement helps YouTube recommend our videos to other learners who need exactly this kind of help.
And subscribing ensures you'll catch every new lesson we create. We're constantly developing fresh content specifically designed to address your learning challenges.
Sharing with friends, classmates, or anyone studying English would genuinely mean the world to us. Together, we're building something special here.
Your support drives us to keep creating quality educational content. Now, Marco, where should we begin this journey toward more natural sounding English?
Let's start with something that makes an immediate difference: word linking, also called connected speech. This is how native speakers create that smooth, flowing sound.
Word linking. That sounds technical. Can you break it down for our viewers?
It's actually beautifully simple. Instead of pronouncing each word as a separate island of sound, native speakers blend words together, creating seamless bridges between them.
Can you give us a concrete example? I think that would really help clarify this concept.
Sure, take the phrase check it out. Most learners say each word distinctly: check it out. But native speakers blend it into something that sounds more like check it out, almost as if it's a single flowing word.
Oh, I hear that everywhere. The words literally melt into each other. What about turn on the TV?
Perfect example. Native speakers don't say turn on the TV. It becomes turn on the TV with smooth connections. The consonant at the end of one word flows directly into the vowel, starting the next word.
This is fascinating. So when I say come over here, it should flow as come over here rather than three separate words?
Exactly. You've got it. This linking creates that characteristic native speaker rhythm that makes English sound musical and fluid. So,
I encourage everyone watching to pay close attention to how characters speak in English movies or TV shows. You'll start noticing this linking everywhere once you know what to listen for.
great advice. Now, let's explore another crucial element: reductions and informal pronunciations. This is where spoken English diverges significantly from written English.
Reductions. I think I know what you're referring to. This is when words get shortened or simplified in casual speech, right?
Precisely. The classic example is going to. In formal writing, we spell it going to, but in natural conversation, it almost always becomes gonna.
So, I'm going to the store tomorrow actually sounds like I'm gonna the store tomorrow when a native speaker says it casually.
Exactly. And this happens with many common phrases. Want to becomes wanna. Got to becomes gotta. Have to becomes hafta.
These are everywhere in casual English. What about don't know? I often hear that shortened too.
Great catch. Don't know frequently becomes dunno in informal speech. I don't know where he went is much more common than the carefully pronounced I don't know where he went.
Now, contractions are related but slightly different, correct?
Yes! Contractions are official shortened forms that we actually write with apostrophes. I am contracts to I'm. You are becomes your. They will becomes they'll.
And using contractions is essential for sounding natural, not overly formal or robotic. I am going to the market sounds stiff compared to I'm going to the market.
Absolutely. Even in relatively formal situations, native speakers use contractions constantly. They're not just for casual contexts.
Negative contractions are particularly important too. Cannot becomes can't, should not becomes shouldn't, would not becomes wouldn't.
Yes. And here's something interesting. Saying, I do not understand, sounds almost theatrical or overly formal. Native speakers would say, I don't understand in virtually every context.
Our viewers should start incorporating these contractions immediately. It's one of the fastest ways to sound more natural. Do you use contractions regularly when you speak English?
Now let's discuss something that completely changes meaning: stress and intonation patterns. This is about which syllables and words receive emphasis in a sentence.
This is so important. English is a stress timed language, which means rhythm comes from emphasizing certain words while reducing others.
Let me demonstrate with a simple sentence. I didn't say she stole the money. Depending on which word you stress, the meaning changes dramatically.
Oh, this is brilliant. Let's try it. If you emphasize I didn't say she stole the money, it implies someone else said it, but not you.
Exactly. Now try emphasizing didn't. I didn't say she stole the money. This suggests you implied it, but didn't explicitly state it.
And if we emphasize I didn't say she stole the money, we're clarifying that someone else, not her, was the thief.
Perfect. One more. I didn't say she stole the money. Emphasizing stole suggests maybe she borrowed it or took it another way, but didn't steal it.
This demonstrates how stress completely transforms meaning. Native speakers do this unconsciously, but learners need to practice it deliberately.
Listening to authentic English and mimicking the stress patterns is incredibly valuable practice. Notice which words speakers make louder or hold longer.
Now let's address something that causes unnecessary anxiety: accents and regional variations.
This is crucial to discuss. English is spoken as a first language in numerous countries and as a second language in countless others. The variety is enormous.
American English sounds different from British English. Australian English has its own character. Indian English, Nigerian English, Singaporean English, all are valid, legitimate forms of English.
Even within the United States, someone from Boston sounds completely different from someone in Texas or California. The same is true in the UK. London, Liverpool, and Edinburgh all have distinct accents.
So here's what's important for our viewers to understand. There is no single correct accent. The goal is clarity and confidence, not mimicking a specific regional sound.
Your accent is part of your identity and linguistic background. Embrace it. Many famous actors, musicians, and public figures speak English with non native accents and communicate brilliantly.
What matters is being understood, not sounding like you were born in New York or London. Focus on clear pronunciation of individual sounds rather than adopting a specific accent.
Excellent point. Now, let's talk about something fun but tricky: colloquial expressions and contemporary slang.
Slang is fascinating because it's constantly evolving and often region specific. What's popular in California might be unknown in Florida.
The key with slang is to understand it when you hear it, but be cautious about when and how you use it yourself. Context is everything.
Let's cover some classics that have staying power. Cool has been around for decades and still means something is good, interesting, or acceptable. That restaurant is really cool, or, yeah, that's cool with me.
Awesome is another safe bet. It expresses that something is impressive or excellent. The concert was awesome. It's enthusiastic but not overly informal.
What about some newer expressions? I hear low key used frequently now.
Yes, low key means somewhat or slightly, often expressing a subtle feeling. I'm low key nervous about the presentation means you're somewhat nervous, but not overwhelmingly so.
And high key is the opposite, strongly or obviously. I'm high key excited for the weekend.
Here's important advice: observe where and when native speakers use slang before incorporating it yourself. Using slang in a job interview or formal presentation would be inappropriate.
Exactly. But with friends your age or in casual social settings, appropriate slang helps you fit in and sound contemporary. What slang expressions do you hear most often in your daily life?
Now let's discuss something incredibly practical: fixed phrases and chunks of language that native speakers use constantly.
These are like building blocks of natural conversation, pre assembled phrases that you can use as complete units without thinking about individual words.
Exactly. Instead of constructing, "How are you?" word by word, native speakers retrieve the entire phrase, "How are you?" as a single chunk.
Can you give more examples of these essential fixed phrases?
Sure. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Excuse me. I'm sorry to hear that. That makes sense. I totally agree.
No problem. Sounds good. Fair enough. I see what you mean. Let me think about it.
These phrases flow automatically in native speech. Learning them as complete units rather than translating word by word from your native language makes you sound instantly more fluent.
It also reduces the cognitive load of speaking. You're not assembling sentences from scratch. You're selecting from ready made expressions.
Start building a mental collection of these chunks. When you hear a phrase used repeatedly in English media or conversations, note it down and practice using it.
Let's move to vocabulary enhancement, specifically, using more vivid and precise words instead of basic, overused ones.
This is about elevating your expression. Instead of saying good for everything positive, native speakers use a rich variety of descriptive words.
For food, instead of good, you might say delicious, tasty, flavorful, mouth-watering, or scrumptious.
For experiences, try fantastic, wonderful, incredible, amazing, or phenomenal instead of just good.
What about the opposite? When something is bad, what alternatives can we use?
Terrible, awful, horrible, dreadful, disappointing, unpleasant. Each carries slightly different nuances and intensity.
For weather, instead of nice weather, say gorgeous day, beautiful sunshine, or perfect conditions.
The key is specificity and variety. Instead of recycling the same basic adjectives, challenge yourself to use more expressive vocabulary.
This makes your English not just more natural, but more interesting and engaging. People enjoy talking with someone who uses vivid language.
Now let's address rhythm and pacing. How fast you speak and when you pause.
This is so important. Many learners think speaking rapidly equals fluency, but that's a misconception.
Native speakers actually vary their pace significantly. We speed up during casual, familiar topics and slow down when making important points or explaining complex ideas.
And strategic pauses are essential. They give listeners time to process information, create emphasis, and allow you to gather your thoughts.
Let me demonstrate. Listen to the difference. I have something important to tell you versus I have something important to tell you. The pauses create anticipation and emphasis.
Pausing also prevents you from using filler sounds like and excessively. A brief moment of silence is more professional than constant verbal stumbling.
Exactly. Natural speech includes pauses for breath, for thought, for effect. Don't feel pressured to fill every microsecond with sound.
Practice reading aloud and deliberately inserting pauses at natural breaking points. After commas, between ideas, before important words.
This creates a rhythm that sounds confident and controlled rather than rushed and anxious. Think about how you feel listening to someone who speaks too fast versus someone who paces themselves well.
Now we need to discuss register, understanding when to use formal versus informal language.
This is a sophisticated skill that even some native speakers struggle with. The formality level appropriate depends entirely on context.
With close friends, informal language dominates. Contractions, casual vocabulary, slang, incomplete sentences, all perfectly acceptable. Hey, want to grab lunch later?
But in professional settings, job interviews, academic presentations, or when speaking to someone you don't know well, formal language is appropriate.
Formal language uses complete sentences, avoids slang, minimizes contractions, and employs more sophisticated vocabulary. Good morning. Would you be available for lunch this afternoon?
The same person might say, "Yeah, totally," to a friend, but "Yes, I completely agree," in a business meeting. Both are correct in their respective contexts.
One excellent way to develop this sensitivity is watching English language films or series. Notice how characters speak differently to their friends versus their bosses or professors.
Pay attention to vocabulary choices, sentence structure, and overall tone. This awareness prevents awkward situations where you use inappropriate language for the setting.
Can you think of situations in your life where you need formal English versus informal English? Understanding this distinction is crucial.
Finally, let's discuss something that makes conversations feel alive and genuine: responsive expressions and active listening signals.
These are the small verbal and nonverbal cues that show you're engaged, interested and following what someone is saying.
In English, we use expressions like, oh, really? Wow, I see. That's interesting. No way. Seriously? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
These reactions are essential. Imagine telling an exciting story and the listener just stares silently. It would feel uncomfortable and discouraging.
Right. These little interjections encourage the speaker to continue and show that you're actively processing their words.
Let's practice. Marco, I just found out I got accepted into the graduate program I applied for.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic. Congratulations. When do you start?
See how those natural reactions. Oh, wow, that's fantastic. Congratulations. Made the conversation feel warm and engaging?
These aren't scripted or artificial. Native speakers do this unconsciously, but learners need to practice incorporating these responsive expressions.
Different cultures have different conversational norms. In some cultures, silent listening shows respect. In English-speaking cultures, these verbal reactions show engagement.
Practice responding actively when you watch English videos or listen to podcasts. Even though they can't hear you, practicing these reactions builds the habit.
Try expressions like, right, exactly, totally. I know what you mean. That makes sense. I can imagine.
These create conversational flow and make you a more engaging communication partner. People enjoy talking with responsive listeners.
Wow, Marco, we've covered so much ground today. Let's quickly recap these powerful strategies for our viewers.
We explored word linking to create smooth, flowing speech, reductions and contractions that make you sound natural rather than overly formal, stress and intonation patterns that convey meaning and emotion.
We discussed accepting accent diversity and focusing on clarity, understanding contemporary slang while being strategic about usage, mastering fixed phrases and language chunks.
We covered using vivid vocabulary instead of basic words, controlling pace, and using strategic pauses, adapting formality to context, and employing active listening responses.
These aren't things you master overnight. Choose one or two strategies to focus on this week, practice them consistently, and gradually incorporate others.
Maybe this week you'll focus on using more contractions. Next week, practice linking words. Small, consistent improvements compound over time.
The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Every time you implement one of these techniques, you're moving toward more natural, confident English.
Now it's your turn to engage. We have a question specifically for our Easy English class community, and we genuinely want to hear your thoughts.
Here's our question. Which of these techniques will you practice first? Tell us in the comments which strategy you found most helpful or most challenging.
Maybe it's word linking, maybe it's using more contractions, maybe it's working on stress patterns. Whatever you choose, share it with us. Your comments help us create better content for you.
And remember to subscribe to Easy English Class if you haven't already. We have many more practical lessons coming that will support your journey toward fluency.
Hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video. Share this lesson with anyone who wants to sound more natural in English.
Thank you so much for learning with us today. Remember, you don't need to sound exactly like someone born in an English-speaking country. You need to communicate clearly and confidently.
Your unique voice, your background, your perspective, these are valuable. These techniques just help you express yourself more effectively. See you in the next Easy English Class episode.
Keep practicing and believing in your progress.
Take care, everyone. You're doing great.